Pectinate muscles, right? So if I just keep slicing, maybe we'll get to it. So I just cut through that auricle. But yeah, here, you can really see this. This is the atrium here, the right atrium. You can tell because there's this valve attached to the chordae tendineae, attached to the papillary muscle, and above the valve is always the atrium, below the valve is always the ventricle. Okay? So what muscle is this in here? Pectinate muscles. Good. So pectinate muscles, a way that you can remember that, in humans, pecs are on the upper parts of our body. So in the heart, pectinate muscles will also be in the upper part of our body, or of our heart. Okay? All right, so this is where your knowledge of the pathway of blood has to come in. We think that this is the pulmonary trunk, but we're not 100% sure. So to make sure, we take the probe and pretend it's the flow of blood. So it'll follow from the inside of the heart. The blood will be shooting out through the pulmonary trunk. So what chamber would the blood be in? Right ventricle. And if we're right, it's in the right ventricle. Okay? And based on that, what valve is it going through?
The pulmonary?
Pulmonary semilunar valve. Nice. And so then it's going through what vessel? Pulmonary trunk, also known as pulmonary artery, either or. Okay, at this point, is it oxygenated or deoxygenated blood? Deoxygenated still. It's still making its way towards the lungs. All right, another sample question. We'll go with this one, I guess. All right, so this one is probably the aorta. If this is the aorta, where would the blood be coming from inside the heart?
Left ventricle.
Left ventricle. So is that true? Yes. So the blood is coming from the left ventricle, the chamber. It's going through what vessel?
The aorta?
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 Yeah,
Oh.
yeah, the aorta. And it's going through what valve? Aortic semilunar valve. Okay, and at this point, is it oxygenated or deoxygenated?
Oxygenated.
Oxygenated. Good. And then let's see if we can find one more. All right, this, I think, is the pulmonary vein. If it's the pulmonary vein, it's going to come from the lungs and find itself in what chamber in the heart? Left atrium. And it is in the left atrium. Okay, you see that because the atrium will be above the valve or superior to the valve. So at that point, what vessel is it going through?
Pulmonary vein.
Pulmonary vein, good. Is it ox or deox blood?
Oxygenated.
Oxygenated. And is it going through a valve? No, no valve. No valve, because it's coming directly from the pulmonary vein, directly into the left atrium. All right, so here's a few ways that we could ask different questions. What valve is that? At the yellow. Bicuspid valve, also known as mitral. Okay. What valve is this? Tricuspid. Okay, what structure is at the yellow? Pectinate muscle, because it's in the upper portion of the heart. What structure is that at the blue?
Myocardium?
structure?
Oh, I can't. Carne, trabeculae carne.
Trabeculae carneae. All right. What about? Let's see. What's the layer here?
Visceral pericardium.
Visceral pericardium or epicardium? Epicardium. Good. What is this layer?